Man, just to see how it makes you feel.
Nope.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, weirdos.
I don't know. Dogma didn't deny it or say no.
Okay,
He
weirdos.
he didn't have to. He knows how it feels.
Anyways, as your team ventured forth into Mortania, trying to just, I don't know, make things a little bit better, use Super Kingdom, just getting back at dear old dad, clearly some daddy issues to work with. And afterwards, it was discerned and discovered that, yeah, while the vessel did die, the being inside, that is more or less the active father, is likely to return based off of the information that Aster found. But that'll take some time. Definitely enough time for you to actually start some things. In the meantime, you began to basically look into things, called the noble houses, and basically stated to them, hey, you're nobles? Yeah, not anymore. We're going to change things up about. And if you don't like it, we're going to take your money and stuff and see how you feel about it then. Some were fine, not fine with it, but reluctantly agreed. Others were more or less inclined to help, and some stayed silent. A lot of them stayed silent. There were a few outstanding individuals that did give you advice, and in turn, you made them something. I forget the titles that you gave them, but you made them something. It was also discerned while Yoko and Aster were exploring the city to see if there were any potential people that escaped the area. You did discern that someone dimension door out, and one plane shifted out. So that one, well, not plane shifted, sorry. Circle magic. Out. Wrong way, but you know what I mean. So that destination needs to be found, and right now that's being worked on. Well, last night, it depends on when this time frame is. But one of you accidentally found someone, as you yourself was technically breaking the law, which we'll get back to that later, maybe. But while walking the forest and just clearing your head, you found someone that was, in all honesty, you have no idea if they were doing the same exact thing, but instead you decided to hunt them down and be super creepy about it, honestly. They rush back.
Decisions were made.
Feigning why they were being chased. Or maybe not. You really still don't know. The guards try to get them inside, and not wanting that at all, they ran back into the forest, being chased soon after. A battle ensued, and half of his team was knocked out unceremoniously. But they were eventually revived through some magic. Aster was informed after the guards ran towards him and got immediately called out on that because they have a chain of command. Why didn't you follow it? So now they're more or less being punished. And then Aster called, honestly, a random guard that at a game you did not know that were being mean to
No,
Milo.
I was there.
No, you
I
weren't.
told him. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
he did.
Milo would have told you. That's fair enough. But you weren't there. Because it happened when
Milo
you and
told-
Yoko were inside. But Milo would have easily
Milo
told him.
Told
That's fine.
you, told him about it.
I don't remember that, but I'm going to believe you. I have memory issues, so fair.
I told him that I met a very racist guard.
That's not describing
It was
anyone,
the
though.
dick. Well, I mean, I would have told him his name because it's the
Yeah.
whole reason I asked for his name.
Yeah, I know. He, not really knowing why this is happening, you just made him strip and sit in a corner.
Make him
Very
think about
weird.
what he did.
Make him think about what he did.
Yeah. Yoko met some random stranger that gave them advice, and I don't know if Yoko took it or not. But right now, you're all together, minus Milos, who is still sleeping in the forest. It has been a day since the coup. Given some clean air. Aster, you remember you sent the mistress of the former king and your brother to interrogation, or at least in the holding cell. While you step inside, I have him as red as in blue. Okay, whatever. Red does approach you too. Evening, sir. Miss. Are you here for the interrogation of the individuals? We do have all of them set up inside of a anti-magic zone. So no teleportation out, but they can still cast spells if they have spells, so do watch out for that. Luckily enough, we did branch them with handcuffs, but we only have 5 sets of those. I do hear someone knocking at the door. I'll be right back. This is me out of game, by the way.
There's only 5 sets of handcuffs in the whole kingdom? I've heard of, like, overfunded militaries. It's kind of like a meme, but, like, I feel like that's pretty underfunded.
Yeah.
Two,
Do these
three,
guys have to
four,
like share swords or
6,
something
7,
too?
8. There's 8 guards in this room alone, and we don't have a handcuff set for each of them? This is some Soviet Russia. One guy gets the gun, one guy gets the bullets. Fucking squadron tactics here.
Okay, I'm back. No, what
No,
he
they
means
don't
to say
arrest
is there
people.
are only 5 anti-magic handcuffs. They all have handcuffs.
Oh, okay. That makes significantly more sense.
I figured that's why I didn't say anything. I figured that's what he meant when he was talking about the magic shit, and it's like, uh-huh.
The interrogation room and the cells are anti-magically inclined, but it's so much harder to do that in handcuffs, so they can have 5 of those.
That makes significantly more sense, Red.
Oh, yes, quite right. It's no one at my door, apparently. Some neighbor who's knocking quite loud. Anyways. So if you're ready, you can do so. If not, you can also speak with the, well, they really haven't said anything, but there is someone, still waiting trial. It's been about, how long do you think you would have been in jail, Star?
30 years.
Do what?
Like, how long do you think you would have been in jail? I know you
Probably
got
a
arrested.
week or so before the coup.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
a while, a little bit before the coup, all I know. I
You
don't
just
know.
put it like a little bit before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
don't-
going to leave that basically up to your discretion.
There is still someone waiting trial, and since right now you are the only main governing force, I changed my cadence because I forgot it. They still need to be heard and all that, so when you're ready for them as well, go ahead and speak with them. We are not technically allowed to speak with them, as the last governing branch of power was absolute monarchy, so they had full say. They've been stuck there for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, give or take. Seem nice.
The extent of the magical handcuffs, how reliable are they?
Yeah, quite reliable. So long as you don't have the skill of a thief or a rogue, you should be able to not get out of them.
Alright, split the 3 of them up into different cells with a guard to watch each of them. I will hold a small trial for the person waiting it.
Very well. I guess they take him out of an interrogation room.
You're not supposed to put prisoners together.
You're not. But it was easier this way for me.
Do this
Yeah,
right.
let them conspire and come up with a story.
Technically, there were guards there to keep an eye on them, but there'd be so many tokens in that room once you entered inside.
You need to, I think you might need to delete that and recreate a token. And reconnect it, because I was messing with the character sheet and it kept pulling the those out. So that's the reason why there was 2 of them.
Well, it's your image token. Yeah, there we go. It might not be tethered though, so give me 1 second. No, it should be tethered because it doesn't allow me to do anything else. Okay.
Just need to edit like the values and stuff, and then tether it again.
I mean, the image would be tethered to your character sheet itself, so that's still fine.
I mean, like my health, my AC, like you've got.
Oh,
the
I just
other
need to
kid.
show it once you finish finalizing it. But red
Well,
does look.
everything should be finalized.
So you wanted to show now. Okay. Blue does state, very well then, sir. They're all currently in the upper left-hand corner. You obviously have the keys as you are the administrator of this place currently, unless you eventually do assign someone. There are a variety of guards here and there, so if you need one of our helps, just let us know.
Thank you. Is there? Yeah, pull the one awaiting trial into the interrogation room, and I'll come there.
Very well then, sir. Oink.
We sit next to each other.
Why, hello there.
Yoko decides not to go inside. Yoko goes inside.
Yeah, I was gonna wait. So I need to apologize. Normally this will be done differently in the future, but we're undergoing a bit of changes currently. So your trial, well, I'll leave it up to you. We can conduct it now, or you can wait for my administration to figure out how they're going to do things going forward.
The better, please.
I'm sorry?
Alright, so hold on, my mic's messing up. The
Alright.
sooner the better.
Sooner the better.
Wow, that's not at all what I heard.
All right. Blue?
You shout, open the door. Yes, sir.
What is this man accused of?
Well, he gives off a list of varying crimes. You're not entirely sure if they're real or not, because I don't know. I want to say theft and potential possession of narcotics.
And the evidence against him?
High Noble's seal. He shows you the paperwork. It does have a High Noble seal, but Aster, being as you're someone that basically tried to study up on this kingdom and potential threats, go ahead and roll history. Oh yeah, that works. Based on the understanding in your world knowledge, you can tell that Mauritania has like crooked nobles in here or there. So the seal might not mean anything. It just means that someone connected to the main houses of former nobles, because they're not nobles anymore, basically sealed and approved this, maybe without looking at it, because they trusted whoever they were working with well enough to just give them the seal. That being the case, and by the very clear-cut, non-descriptive arrest orders, it doesn't seem like everything's as clear as it could be. There's really no like eyewitnesses. There's really nothing of the sort. It just feels like, oh, this is the bad guy. Arrest them.
Yes, the Draken family seal. I'm familiar.
They do often not have mercenaries, merchantry, and the like carry their seals, so it's possible that one of them did. I can see. Well, I suppose I can see if they have any notes on the matter. But often or not, they do lose their seals from time to time. So I'm not entirely sure if they even know about it. We are still investigating, of course. We're not just doing nothing.
I'm glad to hear that. What is your name?
Thane.
Thane?
Thane.
What relations did you have with the Draken family?
None.
Then for what reason would they seal away your freedom? Accuse you of theft?
It must have had to do with the person I was escorting.
Who was that and where are they?
I have no clue. I was betrayed and ended up here.
Betrayed by...
I don't know. As soon as I get out here, I plan on going and finding out who. And I need to check and see if my crew is still fine. Is still
Your-
alive.
Your crew?
Yes. Maybe I should give you a formal introduction. He kind of stands up a little bit and kind of gives a nice, like, courtesy bow-ish, not a full formal bow. Artanis Thane, captain of the Free Collars.
You've never heard of them, so they're not nobility or massive import-export traders. If you had to guess,
Trader.
traders, low merchantry, suppliers, something big enough to have a fleet. A fleet can be 2 or 3 boats, honestly. I don't know. Legitimately wise, I don't know, but let's say 2 or 3 boats, enough to be considered a fleet. So up and coming, but definitely not someone you would take of note as of right now.
Wow, you are without a doubt the worst pirate I have ever heard of.
Not a pirate.
Sorry. I just... Yoko posted the movie GIF, so it's on the
know.
brain now. It was kind of like reminiscent.
I was thinking
What
the
the
same
fuck?
thing.
It was a while ago, too.
Yeah, right. Yoko with the mind read. Forgive me, Captain Thane. I'm not familiar.
It's not. Trying to think of the right
What are
word.
you
It's
captain of?
small little privateer fleet.
Privateers, who holds your contract?
No
I'll turn to
anymore.
Blue. I'll turn to Blue. Blue, do we own his contract?
They have a variety of contracts. Well, historically, a few here and there from various kingdoms, but currently no main supply, or at least no threshold of contract. It does seem that whatever paperwork they did have, it was falsified.
Like I said, I was betrayed.
They keep saying this, and it's honestly possibly true, but with no actual evidence against or for, they're in a strange limbo right now.
Am I in any cuffs?
Yes, you would not be not cuffed.
Okay. Am I in normal cuffs?
Yeah, you haven't proven a potential problem right now? I want to say yes.
Okay.
So, you're being accused of theft, among some other minor petty crimes. You've historically had work with us, but all your current documents are falsified.
I've never worked for Mauritania in my life. That's the falsification.
Who were you working for then?
The last contract I had was some merchant out of Aquas. And then this happened.
I don't think I have enough evidence either way to make a proper decision, but I will offer you a plea deal of sorts if you're willing to take it.
Go ahead.
Never take another contract for a different kingdom, and you will work at 3/4 your normal rate, exclusively under Mauritania for 2 years. After that, I don't care.
I mean, that's all said and good, but I don't even know if my crew survived.
We have honestly not found any of their missing crew members. So
What are you doing so far inland?
I was transported here. I have no clue.
unfortunately, the former king had a hand at execution and the like, personally. So they had the paperwork, and if they did not have it, they memorized what happened. So after the demise, I'm not blaming you, sir. That information is now gone.
Blue, you're getting dangerously close to talking a lot of shit for someone within smiting distance.
It is my job, sir, and if I do have to die, it is part of the oath I've sworn to take.
Sorry, that was out of character.
You're starting to piss the king off.
No, I like Blue. It's pretty good. Tell me more about this person that you were meant to escort.
Based on the information you have, Thane, it was just a simple nobility run. You were supposed to export someone, help them transport their stuff. You know how sometimes nobles travel to one kingdom to the other. It's a basic run. You get them from one place to point A to point B, but when you landed in the docks, immediately you were surrounded by guards and sentries, almost as if you were an actual pirate. They began to board, so you basically just booked it. Looking for the person that gave you the contract, Esther Fairthane. You could not find them again. They were a very broadly built-looking man, an elven elven by name, but the way they were built more like a very buff pro wrestler is the best way I can describe them. Very heavily thick-built man. Elven, regardless. He was tall, though, so that tracks. You could not find Esther once this all happened, and you went to go look for the noble, and there was no one there, except a massive amount of boxes for some reason or another. Seeing that you were set up, you just told your crews to just get out of there, and one thing led to another when you were taken in. And you didn't see if any of your people got taken in or anything of that notion. Since you've been transported there, well, from point A to point B, since the docks up to this city, it took about 3 days and you saw no one else from your crew. So it's believed to you that they might have escaped or were taken somewhere else. You're not sure, honestly. After a few weeks passed, even less sure now.
I'll relay that to the gentleman in front of me. Hunt's his character. I don't know his character's name yet.
That's true.
Let him go.
All right then, sir. He goes over, begins to unlock them, takes the cuffs, puts them in this side. You can tell that Blue has no magical cuffs, so he likely cuffed the mistress, the former prince, and that one halfling woman you don't know. You just need his first name. Esther, his last name is Faraday, but you just need his first name, technically. A very thick-built man. Elven in nature. But regardless of that, though, being released, Blue does state, very well then, would you like them to have the possessions that were taken in as well? Or, the thickest of elves, would you have them be retained until they could pay the proper tribute for them?
Possessions did they have?
Thane, what possessions would have taken?
I had a dagger, a smoking pipe, a little satchel, that just had like your everyday necessities and a book.
He like brings
Try
out
and make sure-
a box.
I'll check and make sure that the book isn't like hollowed out or anything.
You see a lot of arcane sigils and stuff as you go through it.
Show it to Yoko. You make heads or tails of this?
I'll
my
take a
spell book.
look at it.
Arcane wizardry. Some symbols you know, others you don't. It's interesting. It's definitely a good read, and some scribbling here and there. You can tell this is a workbook that a mage would use to potentially cast magic, or like to write things down, and sometimes just to doodle.
I know you said mage, but I definitely heard maid.
I did too.
Yeah, same.
Man, these maids have gotten
Major.
powerful.
Yeah.
Major.
Fucking, I blame Toho. Nothing
I
that
just
looks.
blame all of Japan.
If that's fair, honestly. And nothing that looks like the symbols that we were seeing when they were doing the experiments or anything like that.
No, there were some symbols that correlate with any other branch of magic, but those are basic symbols that would appear anywhere. If you like know the element of air, water, and stuff like that, but nothing
Very
like
common things.
yeah, but nothing specific.
No, like inverse pentagrams with like virgin sacrifice doodles.
No, nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean everything seems to be in order. Yeah, Thane, you're free to go. I hope you find your crew.
I did too.
Good. I would state, sir. I mean, no offense by this as well, but they are a third-party individual from not our kingdom. I would suggest having them close by. We are currently in lockdown. Mr. Thane, you're more than welcome to roam the streets, but I would advise you not to try to leave the city in roughly the next 2 weeks, as we are currently sorting things out.
Yes, Blue is correct. You will have to wait a little bit before venturing back towards the sea. I do apologize, but not a whole lot can be done about that situation.
Yoko clears a card.
The fuck did Blue do?
His job.
Poor man.
But he
He's
does.
acting like he runs the place.
He currently
He's making,
does.
he's making suggestions. That's literally his job. I'm not going to get angry at a guard for doing his job.
Yeah, the people that were running the guard technically aren't running it right now. So the ones that are is that one lieutenant you don't technically see in the corner, and the two people at the front desk, which is also Blue. That being said, though, he does state, again, sir, it's entirely your position. I would keep them close since they are not from this kingdom, quite honestly. But again, it's entirely up to you. I have done my job. Mr. Thane, your 50 gold wavering fee of acquiring your assets again has been waived. So you're more than welcome to stop on by if you'd like. I definitely enjoy our chats. And we are still looking for your friends. If you find any of them outside in the city, just please let us know. Mr. Aster, Miss... does he know Yoko by Yoko? I don't think so.
Plus, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd say Mr. Astor.
Yeah, I was about to be like, Mr. Astor. That's a very interesting title to give me.
I screwed up there. He would say King.
Yeah, is that how you address your king?
He would say King. That was me screwing up. Because I slipped into the mind. Would he know Yoko's name? No, he wouldn't. King Aster, Miss... Don't remember Yoko's fake name. He says, Miss Kasumi. Right now, we are investigating a breakout that happened not that long ago. We were able to seal off the city itself before then, so they are still wandering around. So if you do find 3 individuals, one a mass murderer, one a drug dealer, and one, we're not exactly sure what he did. It's kind of the same correlation with Thane. But they were arrested and were awaiting trial as well. They always stuck in the corner and did nothing about themselves. So kind of hard to pick them out, honestly. But if you find these three, just let us know, and we'll try to capture them immediately. We're still looking. We're not doing anything, but yet no leads, so we have yet to find them. And yes, we are
Do
looking
you
in the
have
sewers.
Any more details about them? What they look like? Their names? Anything?
I'm afraid not, because I don't have that page open. Give me a second.
So we're supposed to find 3 people of any determinate race, characteristic, height, build.
Yes, at least right now until I find that page. He begins to flip a book, me looking at my notes.
Why, it could even be you. Twilight Zone. That's some Black Mirror shit.
He opens the book. Ah, found it. One, we have Miss Fireheart. She is the accused mass murderer of the trio. She has been accused of burning a village down to the ground, leaving no witnesses other than the offshoot orphanage to the left. In theory, typographically to the left. But she is accused of massacring 86 lives that day. The second, again, piratery, thievery, possession, a lot of possession, a lot of not so nice things, and a lot of illegal things. We have Village 86. Wouldn't that be Hamlet? Yeah, you're not wrong. But village sound cleaner.
I know. That's why I didn't try to kill the flow with it. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm just making a joke.
Other than Miss Amber here, we have Mr. Vol. They themselves are a compassionate fellow, at least at first glance. But Vol has been, well, again, a lot of narcotics, a lot of dangerous things, and a lot of illegal things. We have yet to discern how they acquired everything inside the actual city itself. So, a little worrying there, a little troubling, but again, former king had the notes and didn't share them. And the last one, we only had a nickname for them, as we could not and were not given anything. We were just in the middle of the night told to house this individual and to just keep him isolated. However, didn't need to after a while, since no one came soon enough. We don't have a name, a moniker. They seemed well enough to do, but they didn't ever speak. We just went with X or Shadow or Fancy Man based off of the garb of clothes, but we can't really discern actual details about them other than the clothes themselves. Big hate, Logan. He shows you the portraits, so the images. If you do find them, just let me know. We are still looking, so let any guard know, really. You don't have to come to me, Mr. King Aster. Me screwing up again. Or Miss Kasumi. After all, we do have a regiment here.
Weird that we drew this portrait without his face. Don't do that anymore.
Oh no, the portraiture could not find or discern the image. Well, the person, and neither could anyone else, honestly. It was a little daunting and a little haunting, which is why people generally didn't speak with them. It's quite literally how they look like. But if you excuse me, if you need anything, I'll be at the front desk. And yes, I suppose you can keep these portraitures.
Wait, so you're telling me that people were looking directly at this person and they couldn't make out their face?
Yes.
Going forward, if that happens, keep them in the anti-magic handcuffs.
Oh, they still are.
What?
We had 5. Now we have 4. I was gonna make mention of that in private, but I suppose now it makes good enough sense.
I see. Back to work then, I suppose.
Back to work. He goes back to work.
Fuck, I have more work for him.
But yeah, Amber. Well, technically, you guys had 6. Now we have 5. That was me messing up with my math. But yeah, Amber, Vol, and I'm gonna call them X right now. Were 3 escaped prisoners that riots ensue when a coup is happening. Some walls got broken. They were eventually fixed by today. But Amber, Vol, and X disappeared into the city. The only one that was currently had magical handcuffs at the time was X. Vol and Amber technically don't have those on them. Since they don't know if they use magic, or at the very least, they weren't using magic while in the jail cell. But X themselves was able to leave with the handcuffs on, so they at least don't use magic currently.
Thane, do you recognize those people?
Do I, other than seeing them while I was imprisoned here?
No, you just only heard rumors. You've, from time to time, you spoke with each other, some small offhanded things here and there. Vale would sometimes state, so when do you think they're gonna come for our lives? Today? Tomorrow? Prefer not to wait. Amber more or less was somber about things. They kept to themselves, but would come into the conversation when not provoked, but looking towards her, asking for her opinion, asking about the meal. She would sometimes state, I mean, they try their best. Not everyone can have as much as everyone else, but they do sparingly give us what they can provide. Nothing of sustenance, but they weren't necessarily evil, or at least it didn't appear to be evil. Obviously the crimes were still bad. But that's all you knew about them. And you've never heard X speak, so that's all you know about them. In fact, now that you think about it, you don't even know how he ate.
Would I have been able to glisten anything from their surface thoughts throughout the time?
Boredom. And when you try to read X's surface thoughts, fuzziness.
Okay.
So Thane, it sounds like there was a prison riot and a few escaped. Why not you?
Because I did nothing wrong. Not gonna jeopardize that coming to light and then still be in here afterwards, getting caught, thrown back in prison, staying in prison. Just thought I'd wait it out.
Did you see how they escaped?
Did I see how they escaped?
Walls were broken, so the anti-magic shielding kind of broke off. So they just went through the holes.
Okay, that.
They're fixed now. But when things break the first time, people take advantage.
I like the idea that everyone is just in prison and ignoring the fucking hole in the wall.
I mean, one did. That's why Thane's still here.
Alright, well, Captain Artanis, I believe it was.
Captain
Thane. You're free to go. I'm gonna need to use this room for a few more interrogations. You have my condolences.
Murders at 86 people, not even.
I said it was bad. I didn't say they didn't do something wrong. I just said not evil.
They're not my crew. Fuck you.
They're not. But as you're discussing things, you do see someone being escorted in by, I'm going to say Red this time. Yes, right in here, ma'am. King Asta and Miss Kasami. We do have this individual needing to speak with you. They said made mention of a Mr. Fancy Pants in the forest. And that they knew you from something known as the graveyard. I don't know what that
Oh.
means.
I see. Will you please escort Mr. Thane back out, and we'll speak with her privately?
Of course, sir. Comes in to the room. Thane, if you'll follow me.
Sorry,
Alright.
excuse me, Captain Thane.
Captain Thane, if you'll follow me.
I want Aster's, Yoko's, and the new person's surface thoughts.
Do we get to resist that at all?
No, only
I
if
think surface
approach
level,
you first.
no. It's just like common thoughts you would have. But if like they go deep, based off of the information
Then
I
you
remember,
have to-
they would be pushing it.
Mhm.
So for Aster, it's more like, oh, I can clearly tell who this person is. Aster is not like thinking something specific. It's more like, oh, it's her, obviously. All right, she's probably gonna talk about Milo, based off of Fancy Pants. And Yoko is more like, I wonder what
Sword.
other swords I can get.
Sword.
Sword! Sword!
Yeah,
It's just the sound of a blade being unsheathed.
yeah. More than likely, Yoko's thinking through patterns of movement in her own skill sets. The woman that just recently entered, it's not panicked, but it's more like, okay, gonna have to speak with them. They're king now, whatever. I can do this. It's more like a position of not really sure where their position now stands.
Mm. I'll go to be leaving as I pass by her. She hears in her head, "If you were friends before, you're still friends now."
Looks towards you and Red. Looks towards Red. She doesn't know you.
I'm not even making eye contact with her. I'm just walking by, and she hears that.
Yeah, looks towards you and Red, because you were the people that were passing by. Looks towards Red, and she does state, pardon? Oh, I didn't say anything, ma'am, but if you'd like, we can discuss things later. Maybe next time. Oh, of course. You're busy, I'm busy, have work.
She's out of your league, Red.
I know, but I still have to try! And he leaves, making it awkward. You get Red's thoughts. It's more like, I gotta shoot my shot. It's not clearly working, but he wants he wants to try.
They just laugh as he's walking away.
Blue gives you your stuff back. Easily enough done. You now also have a box. Because it didn't take it out of the box.
I take all my stuff and then leave the box, and then I'll leave.
Okay.
I mean, there's no reason for me to stay.
Yeah, but you're also just carrying your stuff in your hands, but okay.
Well, I mean, I put them right where they normally sit, and I have the pipe in my hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The pipe never goes away. I never put it away.
The pipe stays in the hand during sex.
Boo.
You've heard of a post-sex cigarette, but now get ready for a during-sex pipe.
I do want to, before I get out of range, try to push into, I know who she is as a player, but her deeper into her thoughts.
I'm pretty sure that one requires a roll.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
She gets a +4 to this currently.
Okay. So I'm just going to add +4 and show you the modifier of her original stat. It's with
She
this
knows
one.
that her mind. She now knows that her mind was probed.
Yeah.
but
You try to hone in. Go ahead.
Immediately, after I realized it doesn't work, I drop contact. Like, I quit looking at her.
Yeah, or at least focusing on that spot. You hone in on the mind, and you can tell that her guard is up. But then she releases something of a variety of images into you. They're all glamour shots of varying individuals, like posed nakedly, like a model being drawn, like a whole bunch of random things into your mind. You feel like she's messing with you,
I just
but she knows
kinda
you're there.
chuckle. Yeah, I just kind of chuckle as I
You
keep going.
downloaded her porn collection.
Yep. Basically,
More like model poses.
as
but
I
yeah.
as I round the corner to go to collect my stuff, I do say, now that I know who you are, I do apologize for not bowing to you.
Are you saying that to Aster? Because you already left the room.
Well, I would, because I have to still see her, so I moved my token just to get it out of the way, and then you moved it out of the screen.
Hang on. Hang back.
I will say, I apologize for not bowing, and I'll give him a proper bow that I've should know that royalty get. And if you need anything, I'm gonna go find a inn to stay, probably in the nicer part of town.
Captain, if I've need of privateers, I'm sure I will find you close at hand.
Do y'all have like a school or something for magic? I need to send some messages out.
Yes, there is a school, and I'll give him directions.
Yeah.
You'll probably find me there. Y'all have a good day, and I appreciate the expediency of my release. Bow again, and then light, like the pipe just lights, and I just start walking out, and a little bit of the smoke, you kind of see this little wicked skull, horned skull floating through the smoke as I leave.
Vape tricks. Okay.
Oh, what are their passive? What are y'all's passive?
Passive
17.
Perception.
less than 17.
Yoko would have probably seen the little dragon around, like, in my coat. Pseudo dragon in my coat. Find familiar.
So, miss, if you'd like to come take a seat.
Alright, real quick, just letting you know, I am gonna still be listening, and I can hear, but I'm gonna step away from my computer for a moment since I'm out of this point.
Yeah. The individual.
I'll close the door before turning back. It was good to see you well.
Yes. Thank you. Well, Milo did mention that yesterday that he was going to rest at night in the forest, but he has yet to return. He's also made mention that he would like to speak with you about something during the afternoon, if you have time. Since you don't have sending stones, he sent me out here to tell you this.
I see. Is he all right? We heard that he was tracking someone down last night, and then that was it.
He didn't give me much information, just gave me that he investigated a few people were hurt, but no one died. And he's doing fine. No real details, though.
All right. Where did he say to meet him?
She gives location. I'm gonna say the. Would it still be called a shantytown? Since currently you're trying to integrate it into the system.
I mean, it's still a shanty town.
Yeah.
Town?
The shantytown.
Excellent. And how are you? You weren't hurt or injured anything during the events?
Oh no. I myself posed as well. I did have a job that day, but unfortunately, you told me not to be there. So I simply posed myself as a waiter and waited it out instead of a bar.
Excellent. Well, take care and do stay safe.
You all as well, King Aster and Miss.
Sue me.
She doesn't know that. Miss Kasumi. She like heavily bows, not really sure how to bow, because she doesn't do that often. And then heads out.
Blue,
Yes, sir.
the halfling, the unrelated halfling.
I don't believe they have any relatives here, but I can find the former council member.
No, I mean the one that was arrested, unrelated to my proceedings. What are they in here for?
You told us to arrest the former council member?
Oh, this is the council member.
Well, the last one, I've...
Thank you, Blue.
Welcome.
Shut the door.
Shut the door. Being the only remaining council member alive, because you only gave the order to keep them alive after they were hunted down. So only some of them got the word before, they were gone.
So you're this is Panama, correct?
Yes. She does state, yes.
Interesting seeing you again.
Not really. You did arrest me. I expected this to happen, but with a guillotine, so I suppose I am surprised by that.
I do not think myself so rash as the former king.
Would be surprising.
If there is any information about the prior regime you think might be prudent to tell me.
Would take time, but I suppose I can.
In exchange, I will let you live with naught but banishment from the kingdom.
Again, it will take time.
Well, you're in prison, so...
I'm gonna need about 3 ledger books, quills and inks, a light and a guard, I suppose, to keep me at watch.
Brad,
Yes, sir.
Miss Panama here is to be kept on guard. She isn't actually to write herself. She is to use a transcribist. Is that clear?
Yes, other than the transcribist, do you mean a transcriber?
Isn't the person who's actually, like, writing things down, like... Yes, someone to write down the things she says.
Yes, of course.
When she's done, keep her until I give the order to release her.
Very well then, sir. Miss, if you follow me to the secret backroom underground headquarters.
We've got to come up with a better name for that.
Oh, quite true. But Solitaire is kind of a strange name in itself. And he takes her to solitary confinement. Getting everything set up.
The woman, bring her to me.
Blue comes over. You just sent her with Red to Solitary.
The other woman.
Oh, yes, the mistress. Right away, sir.
I apologize for any abrasions on your skull.
They'll heal.
And did the prior king, did he ever speak to you about any of his plans?
Only about a few things here and there. Something about trying to take over the kingdom to the north and acquire their new advances in magic technology. Other than that, not much about anything else. Other than your younger brother's succession in about a year.
Was going to why would my brother be succeeding in a year? What was to become of the prior king?
He would take governance of the northern kingdom and rule over both, but your brother would be the provident king of this one. And he also believed he was take the South Kingdom as well. Basically, he'd become emperor, and your brother would become king of this kingdom.
I understand. And who are you exactly?
I suppose it has been a few years. I was formerly known as Rayla the Handmaiden. Once to your mother and mistress to the former king, when my name was changed to Regalia.
What became of my mother?
Passing of time and illness, and then neglect from the family. Your brother was sent off to military. Your younger sister to her education at a boarding school until she was able to attend college. And your father simply deciding not to care anymore. There's only so much a handmaiden can do. And we're not sure what happened with the illness, but that also took its toll.
Does she seem to be being truthful with them?
Roll insight. But as of right now, it didn't seem. Oh, 23. You already rolled. It honestly does feel like she's being truthful. She does seem sentimental and remorseful about a few things here and there, but nothing disingenuous. It's as if she is very connected to these people that she's talking about. Yeah, Zone of Truth would technically work here. It's not a teleportation spell or magical ability that allows you to move from point A to point B. After you cast Zone of Truth. I don't think it'd work though. Let me look at my handcuffs. Aster, as you cast Zone of Truth into the area, it brimes in and effectively coats the entire area with her magic. Aster and Yoko, you can tell that something is about to affect you, but when Aster, you can tell who you're trying to affect based on the radius of the spell. When it goes over towards this woman, Regalia, now her new name, it basically wafts over her and doesn't even touch. As if something anti-magical is surrounding her.
Strong handcuffs.
Yeah.
I'll unlock
Very
them.
strong handcuffs.
Basically, it nullifies magic from and to the individual. So if someone tries to heal them, banish them, move them away, doesn't work. Or if they themselves try to do these types of things, like attack, blah, 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 doesn't work.
Interesting.
That's why there's only 6/5.
But yeah, I'll remove her handcuffs.
You do so. She does the whole standard, typical rubs the elbow, not the elbow, the area where they were chafing.
This?
Yeah, wrist. I couldn't remember the word wrist.
Where did you bury her?
At the family plot. Only 2 attended it that day, minus the individual descending her down and the... Would it be prior or father? I don't really remember religion. I want to say prior. I forget who does the ceremony. Giving the final words of rest. Switching it up to father. And the father. Giving the final words of rest.
And you married my father thereafter?
Marriage is a strong word. More like I became the mistress soon after. As he did not want a courtship to continue and to delegate any time. I became a necessity out of not desire, but need. And I was the closest thing available.
Blue,
Yes, sir.
this woman's assets are to be seized by the crown, but otherwise she is free to go.
I already have, sir. In fact, you have most of them. Carrying the
Just
clothing on her
making
back.
sure.
Right,
Get out of my sight.
of course.
Not you.
Sorry. You say that to her?
Yeah.
She bows, and you see that she doesn't stop bowing until she's quite literally out of your sight. She's very good at her job. Can somehow navigate the entire area after only seeing it once.
She's not banished, but she needs to start anew.
Yep.
Bring my brother.
Of course, sir. And that is the last time you might ever see your wet nurse. Of a year.
I had a wet nurse?
You did.
I didn't think I was at the castle that long.
It was like for a month. Like, where exactly could you be lost, hidden, and left to die? That kind of thing takes time. You just see a grumpy man in front of you.
Prince? Former?
King. Current. Miss. Don't know title.
I've been told that there were plans that would have you succeed the prior king here while he goes and rules another nation. What do you know about those plans?
Only that we were getting ready. And then this happened. Father, much like yourself, always kept people in the dark. For obvious reasons. It seems he kept me out of the loop as well, seeing as I have an older brother.
Sorry to make your acquaintance like this.
It's not the best way to do things.
Is there anything you think I might like to know?
There are plenty of things you don't know. Like, for one, how to rule a kingdom. But I suppose that is your own folly. You have right of rule, but no real leadership.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man. How do you figure I was able to lead the army to do this coup to begin with? Surely you realize that takes some sort of leadership ability.
Military leadership, sure. There's different kinds of leadership. You can show your strength to a military group, and they can follow you based off of those properties. Then there's the people that do not fight. There's the merchantry we commune and connect with. There are the kingdoms we align or don't ally ourselves with.
And the demons you put in people?
What the hell are you talking about, miss?
Are you aware that the council was creating sleeper demons by forcibly placing the souls of demons into civilian populace?
He looks at you two as if you were smoking something. Like, heavily confused. And then looks towards you, King Aster, and simply states, "Look, I don't know what you think is going on, but yes, obviously they were making something to deal with the matters and kingdoms potentially dangerous to us. But I highly doubt it is demons inside of people. Frankly, that sounds crazy."
So, out of character, wasn't the king, like, being all weird and demony when we fought him?
Yes. Like, based off of how things were going, though, he did that having his back against his son. So his son technically didn't see any of that. He just saw people trying to kill his father. I think he did see Aster behead his dad, but that's about it. He just has two people who he does not trust word on this. He also doesn't like Aster, so there's that.
Yeah, well, we don't like him either.
That's fair.
Hey, what the fuck? Oh, you mean you don't like
I
him?
don't like him.
Oh, you don't like him. I thought you meant you don't like me.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I don't like Aster either. And I'm like, wait, what? That hurts.
No, I meant we don't like the prince.
Yeah, that's fair. Blue?
Former prince. The man formerly known as Prince.
He has a name. Yes, sir.
What was his name?
I don't know, sir.
Not Blue. This my brother.
You have the notes. If you don't remember, that's fine.
I
You can just say the
wrote
former
down,
prince.
I only wrote down that I had a sister for sure.
Okay. You can just say former prince.
Okay.
It's fine.
Who's adopted.
Former prince, you are to be executed by beheading or strangulation. Your choice.
For beheading. A lot faster. Cannot watch this kingdom burn slowly this way.
And I cannot risk someone, even my brother, doing another coup.
Surprise, surprise. I can give you this advice at the least. Seeing as I was trained for this, keep an eye on anyone that is a little too friendly. Sure, allies are great, but having a third party to see and observe everything is a little bit more enlightening. You can never fully trust anyone that doesn't have something in it for themselves. After all, you never know when someone so righteous clearly is trying to conceal a blade behind their back. I'm sure you know something about that.
Don't. I've never spoken a lie.
Speaking a lie and your intentions are one and another thing, true. But clearly, you are a deceitful man, regardless of your words.
Blue, take note. The condemned is to die by beheading for the crime of treason. Please note the time.
He writes it down.
And I'll draw the Holy Avenger and do what I must.
As you slice through, the head falls down. It is quick. It is not painless, and, well, not physically painless to him, but the words were interesting. Rather than him simply stating, "Yeah, fuck you! You took my seat! You really think I'm going to help you?" No, for some reason it was advice. While he did not care for you, it did seem like he cared for the kingdom, but yeah, he doesn't care for you, so honestly he might have, done a coup to take back. So, politically wise, not a bad thing to do. But you don't really know anyone here. And if you simply trust everyone here, well, you'll be blindsided. Having a third party might be useful or helpful. And that being the case, though, you'd also be taking the advice of this man. This man you can't even remember his name. His name's Zenith, by the way. This man you can barely even remember. Since he's really nothing to you. He might have been born of the same blood. But he is not your brother. At least, not in the same sense.
If he had cared for the kingdom, he would have not let the issues progress this far.
Perhaps. You really don't know what he was about. But he is now dead. So he's about nothing else anymore. Blue brings in a bag. Puts in the body, the head. Then looks towards you. Cremation or ceremonial burial, sir?
Bury.
Very well done. I am sorry for your loss, even if you have not met him for that long. And now no one's manning the front office until Red comes back soon after.
Kasume?
Yes?
What is your opinion on how I dealt with those matters just now?
Oops.
As we start jumping up on the table and partying because this is fucking Footloose.
Kasami says, "Nothing!"
I think you handled it well. I probably would have done much the same thing.
Would you have done anything different?
More murder.
All of them dead. Turn this fucking interrogation chamber into a fucking bloodbath.
Honestly, when you look at the ground, you can see a lot of stains, so your dad really liked to make executions. He wasn't a
No,
nice man.
nothing comes to mind.
Oh, please tell me if it does. I do owe you a lot of thanks for your assistance in helping me get here, as does the entire kingdom. If there is any matter that you think I might be able to help you with, please let me know.
Well, nothing I can think of that require the assistance of a kingdom.
And the assistance of a man?
Well, that spirit did tell us about that sword in a cave near the city of Stone Garden in Brutalheim. I'm still
I was
interested in
surprised
checking that
to.
out.
I was actually surprised to learn you hadn't gone for it while I was training the guard. But yes, if you would like my help in acquiring it, by all means. I remember the blade. Though I have a question for you. Amber, she seems not to trust you. Do you know why?
Kasami, sorry, not Kasami. Yoko, do you remember who Amber
Sorry,
is?
I'm just trying to remember if there's anything I've done that would have made her suspicious of me.
Do you remember what she does for a living?
Amber is that mage with the eyeball hat, right?
Uh-huh.
Now I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. It honestly wasn't that long ago, so I'll just give it to you. You remember that Amber was the former general's right-hand attendant, always keeping watch, always looking for information, anything to check around, keep an eye on, keeping background checks on anything and anyone around that could potentially be a threat. When the first time you visited as potential employee, she almost immediately spotted that you were lying. It's possible she checked in on everyone and found out who you are, or at least who you truly are. If you had to guess, she is an information broker a little bit, or at least knows one that can get information.
Okay.
But honestly, this is just an assumption. Unless that specific thing happened, she really has no real reason to not trust you other than you lying about who you are. Physically, like, you keep disguising yourself.
Well, I suspect she has either seen through my disguise and knows who and what I am, or she's distrustful of me simply because I also practice magic.
Is that mistrust common between wizards?
Sometimes. They don't like to have their spells copied here and there. Especially if they're trying to make new ones.
It can be. It depends on if they have secrets they wish to keep secret, such as spells and other information that is private.
And is there anything, a private secret perhaps, that you would fear her knowing?
Not particularly. All of the magic I know is pretty common, and I'm not really some important noble like you are.
Roll deception. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a base perception check. Asher, what's your base perception? I'm assuming less than 17.
My base perception is 14, yeah.
Yeah. You don't see anything wrong with the statement there. You don't really have a reason why to not trust Kasumi, honestly. Maybe Amber just has it in for other mages, other women. Or she doesn't like swords. Who's honestly hard to tell.
Oh, I cannot abide by that. She has to be dope. No.
Yeah. But as you ponder the question whether or not Amber just doesn't like Kasami for no apparent reason, currently Kasami, as disguised, Thane, as you're walking the streets, you do see people just walking around, moving about. You can tell that a lot of them are currently shifty-eyed, not as if they're about to like attack anyone or like pickpocket someone. It's more like there was quite literally just a coup. You heard rumor here and there about something happening when, the walls went down. But then when you left the jail cell and continued to walk, you heard people talking about, what do you think of the new Kingston? People are like, oh, I don't know, as long as they're not as bad as the other one. And then you hear some young-ish girl around the ages of maybe 15 to 16, a teenager, just like looks to her friends. Maybe now I can date Bobby in secret, without being in secret. No, you can still keep it a secret. He's not that great looking. Giggling and laughing. You can tell that some people are excited, others are a little skittish on what might happen, but overall, it's lively, but not with a hint of suspicion about. When you are walking by, you do see some man that you've seen their emblem. You know them as John Hart. Jean Hart. I don't think I've ever given you his last name. You've seen the emblem, so you know that this person, whoever they may be, works for the Hart Corporation. A very large merchantry within the Morytania borders. Would be a good place to start to see if you know anything. If not, you can still wander the streets and find someone else.
Well, I'm looking for someone to get me the sending spell. So, I mean, he's a merchant, so I would approach him.
All right. You go over towards the man with the emblem. You don't really know if this is Jean Hart, but you know he's part of the Hart Corporation. You come and approach him, and he does simply state, "Can I help you something, sir?"
Notice that you're a part of the, you said Hart Corporation?
Oh, yes.
I'm looking for a scroll for, sending.
Oh, a sending scroll. I might have one in my shop if you'd like to look around.
Kind of looks at rummage my hand in my pocket, feeling how I am light on coins because of what happened. How much would one cost me?
They're only really one-time use things, so not that much, but let's see here. That level of spell, based off of that, new customer, reduced price, pardon. Looking at maybe 300 gold. But you are a new customer, so how about I round it down to 200 gold?
I kind of pull out a coin or two. Would you take 120 for it?
For you, roll persuasion. Pretty good persuasion. For you, fellow newcomer to this land, even though it's been a few years for me. Sure. He takes you towards the shop where you can easily find the place. Need to find the map. Not everyone's there. Why can't I find you? There you are. You, Jean, step inside of this very big shop. You do see another man simply there, Paul. He introduces you as his brother-in-law currently staying with him. Paul wants to know if he finished his work, and Jean simply states that no, it's going to take a couple more days, unfortunately. You can roll insight if you want, but you can tell kind of that there's not a full truth there. No, it feels like a lie. It feels like he's trying to avoid something. But not out of malice, more of doesn't want to deal with it. But Jean comes over towards the scrolls, rummages around through them, and then does find a sending scroll. Oh yes, we do have one, thankfully, or else the bargaining on the street would have been awkward. Yes, here we go. Draws or at least puts down a little missive for you to take. Write your name on. Transactions complete. You give him the gold. He gives you the sending scroll. All right then. If you need anything else, just let me know. Obviously, my business, corporation, does like and well values new customers. So we can definitely work something out if you do require more assistance.
Well, that does sound nice, but I'm a little far from home, short on cash.
Oh, if you like, I can. How far from home? Pause, realizing this is a business communication, weird way of saying that. Conversation. He bails. Goes and takes care of her kids.
Well, I call the sea my home, so pretty far.
I suppose that's fair. We are rather inland right now. You know, I was a seaman once, a long time ago. Didn't take. Decided to go with trading more. Yes, the title seaman for me. Didn't quite work. Right now, I am importing a few things here and there. If you are on the way back, I can perhaps... Are you strong with a sword, magic, stave, staff? Perhaps I could use a bodyguard with the merchant's tree supply that's heading out in about a week and a half, thanks to current predicaments.
I'm looking for my crew. Kind of got separated. So, hence the need for the scroll.
Oh, yes, that does make sense. Well, if they are still around the harbor side, it would be along that way. It wouldn't disdain or remove you from that unless you have or gain new information that goes in the opposite direction. This is just trying to help out. You can obviously say no.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of a merchant? Okay, let me clarify something out of character. The name you gave me, was that the name of the merchant? Or the name of the guy, another person?
That was the go-between between you and the nobleman you were sent to basically get them here. So, not really a name of a merchant, more of a handler for a job. I'm going to say merchant in this case, because it makes the most sense.
So he is a merchant?
Yes.
Okay, have you ever heard the name, you said Esther?
Yes.
Esther Faraday.
Esther Faraday. Rolling. Can't quite say that I have. The last name sounds familiar, but I can't really put my hand on things. I'm afraid I don't know everyone in the world.
No, of course. I had a contract with him before everything happened, and I don't know how to get in contact with him, but maybe I can use a scroll.
No, it's quite possible. If you know their true name and have seen their face before, you can easily communicate with them. Another way of doing that, though, if you have a source of theirs, you could also do the same thing. Like, if they enchanted something and you still have that enchantment, you can find the source pool of that, or perhaps one of their own mundane items. Also a feasible option.
Indeed.
Yes. But again,
I just needed the scroll.
Of course. But if you do need a job, just let me know. Again, hired help is hard to come by, especially good hired help. And I feel like helping you out, after all. You are new to town, and while things are currently changing, I'd rather you see things in a new, better light.
Well, your new king seems to be doing well already.
Well, they're quite nice. As he says that, two people step inside. Right now.
And then I killed the orphan by beating it with the other orphan. And I made their parents watch.
That's a lie. You can't lie. Maybe it wasn't a lie.
There was a joke there. I don't know if someone caught it.
I caught it.
I caught it.
Okay.
I just want to break. How well? Jean looks towards these two. Oh, well, speak of the devil themselves. Or angel, it really depends on who you ask. King? Don't know if you have a title yet. Miss? What owes this establishment? You can clearly tell he's trying to avoid a specific topic. Your presence.
I'm here to help you because you helped me with the coup. Remember how you helped me with the coup, everyone? Yeah, I'm here to reward you for that. They call it nepotism. But yeah, thanks for helping me with the coup.
Is that a game, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah, he basically asked you, so what brings you here today at my fine establishment?
Kicks in your door. Thanks you for helping out with the coup. Leaves, refuses to elaborate.
Yeah, you came here to look for Jean since he wasn't at the work site to see if he found anything, and well, he's here. He's currently trying, from what you can tell, avoiding that topic because he doesn't know who Thane currently is. Doesn't know if you have any connecting markers or whatnot. And he's more or less trying to be not cool about it, but best way of describing it, not offhandedly shouting things out.
Captain Thane, interesting seeing you here.
You just I'll wave the scroll, just picking up a little, something.
Of course. It is a shop after all. I do hope you find many that accept your patronage here in Mauritania.
Well,
Offhandedly, Jean does state, coin is coin.
I don't have it anymore.
Coin was
that's
coin.
hard right now. But I do understand the sentiment.
You can
Jean.
tell Jean feels bad now. Like, with passive of 10, he feels kind of bad.
I came to you to speak about that job that you were doing for me. That was very
yes.
urgent and required your utmost attention.
Quite right. He comes over, gives you a note. This is what I found so far, but it is going to take me a little bit more time. Roughly 2, maybe 3 days.
Of course. In the meantime, I will inform the guards that I'll grab them and pull them over.
Yeah, thing would see like they're trying to have a little conversation and just back away and just peruse and not try to listen or pay attention. Give them their privacy.
In the meantime, I will let the guards know that you are allowed to have your caravans come and go from the city so long as they show your seal.
I mean, that's quite kind of you, but I'd rather not show, my hand just yet. I will comply, obviously. I had plenty of time to make preparations before all this began. I didn't just immediately drop everything. No offense to you, Mr. Aster, but you, King Aster, sorry. He would say that. My apologies. But I do prepare for things. That being the point, though, I do have a large sum of money that I did extract from this city. So if things did go south, I did have that just in case. I didn't think I would need it, but obviously you need to be prepared. But right now my caravans are on hold for the next 2 weeks. Well, technically 3 weeks, but I can use one of my sending scrolls to tell them and let them know that they can return within 2 weeks.
Quick thoughts again, surface thoughts.
On who?
I'm gonna give a quick glance to Aster and Jean.
You can tell that Go ahead.
Aster is kind of thinking about how he's going to find someone.
Yeah. Jean is more or less thinking of, alright, I got the go-ahead, but right now I'm trying to make sure nothing screws up and nothing happens, and just in case things go south within the next 2 weeks, I'm not going to play enemy hands and I'm not going to make an enemy, so right now I'm fine with waiting.
That's a lot of surface thoughts.
He thinks a lot.
I want to probe deeper into Aster's.
Aster, wisdom saving throw. I think DC to beat is 16. Can you put up the spell again?
It's 16.
Of course, just let me check something real fast.
Oh, that's right. You might have something. Depending on the item. Description.
What item does he have?
Rolling at advantage.
Oh. Yeah, I would have perused close enough. Fuck.
Yeah, you peruse close enough to do so.
You know that your mind was just probed.
You've never seen John able to do this, and Yoko, unless this is why Amber's upset with them. No, it might be that one random man you just recently met.
I'm trying to see if they know who's probing.
Aster, you can tell and feel.
Either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thought, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence contested by your intelligence check. If exceed, the spell ends. Okay, so if I don't get my attention away from him quick enough, I guess it's 2 intelligent check against each other
I think it just means you don't get anything.
to make my spell end. It'll make my spell end.
Yeah.
So that's only if he does that. He knows I probed his mind, but I'm not looking at him anymore.
Then the spell ends. But Aster knows now.
Yeah.
Aster, you take note, but nothing malicious, just more like curious. Swept through your mind. Up.
I have laws. I actually have laws specifically for this sort of thing.
I don't know the
Doctor.
laws. Thane doesn't know the laws.
Ignorance of the law does not make you exempt from it.
Captain Thane,
Yes, King Master.
would you mind explaining yourself quickly?
Yes. Well, I try not to pry too much most of the time.
Roll deception.
No, I'm being honest.
Okay, that's fair enough. But in this session alone, I call lies. In this session alone, I call lies. But in the world view things, yeah, you probably don't.
So I guess can I
You don't
finish
have to.
speaking before I?
Yeah, continue.
But when I felt that you were searching for someone, I wanted to see if I could figure out who it is and if I knew that said person.
How do you?
You Thane, what's your past perception?
Let me check real quick. It is 13.
Yoko, and only Yoko, you see that Jean's boot somehow makes a weird powder, a blue powder just like next to his feet for some reason, as he makes a weird circle on the ground. Like, it's very unnoticeable. That's it.
And how do you know I was searching for someone?
I get surface thoughts in general. It just happens sometimes.
Do you make it happen?
Most of the time.
You're aware this is a crime.
No, I'm not.
You're aware that there are laws.
Most of the time, reading people's minds is a crime. In some states and some kingdoms, a
It-
petty crime, but
Kingdoms, yeah. And yeah, I understand that it's a petty crime.
in some,
Some
not all of them.
places, I do not know the laws here because I've never.
And you think it okay to just go probing into people's minds?
No, I don't.
Then why are you doing it?
You seemed to be looking for somebody.
That's hardly an excuse. Using magic to influence a
It's not
lord.
magic, my friend. Technically,
Then pray tell, what is it?
you hear instead of seeing my mouth move. It's just something that I've been able to do since I can remember. In your head.
Gonna classify that as magic.
Okay.
There's penalties for this sort of thing. Imprisonment for up to a good portion of your life, and fines and damages, and I'm the king. You could be found guilty of treason.
Yeah.
Espionage, even.
You saw Jean, Yoko, you saw Jean put a finger up and then puts it down after Astra makes that specific note.
This after I was kind enough to understand your circumstances at prison.
I see what I have done. and I'm at your mercy. I apologize. It's a habit of mine. I apologize. And I will accept anything, any punishment.
You clearly did not think about this, did you?
Like I said, it's a habit. I do it out of what's the word? That you don't subconsciously do it. It's out of habit, per se.
Yoko, Jean, what are your opinions on this?
John waits for Yoko to say
Well,
something.
I already thought his circumstances were rather suspicious. And knowing now that he can read minds, it just makes me even more wary of him.
Jean?
As an individual that is underneath your leadership, I will govern what you have to say. As a merchant, they would be potentially invaluable as someone of a retainer if you had someone able to read others' minds, even at surface level. I understand that you are the king, and your rules also apply to oneself. But given the circumstance, and given them, sorry about this, Mr. Thane, Captain Thane, being not of this kingdom, there could be a way of using that to have them work for you as a supplementary advisor. In a sense, this would allow you to keep an eye on them so they wouldn't continue to break the law, but at the exact same time having someone with the ability to read a mind and not be caught unless they try to truly pry would be an invaluable asset. But this is me speaking as a merchant. Again, entirely up to you.
Thane, how old are you?
Say that again.
How old are you?
He's 12. He's not 12.
27.
Are a human?
Yeah.
Roll deception. As far as you're aware, Aster, yeah. They look human, other than the weird dot things.
I'm not like super trusting of them right now, so
Yeah, you
can
can
I
roll
actually
insight.
roll insight?
Definitely. I was gonna say, unless you think otherwise, then roll
the
insight.
The outer appearance is human except for the eyes. And of course, the thought.
Roll at advantage, so that's 17, and Yoko not believing as well. From what you can tell, Yoko and Aster, it does seem that way visually.
Rolled an 18. How is Aster seeing through it?
I didn't say Aster. I said from what you can tell, outwardly, it does seem to be that way. Unless I accidentally said Aster instead of Yoko, that's my bad.
That's
but
why I said that. Sorry.
it's fine. However, Yoko, you can tell that there's something not quite sure about the statement. It's not as if they're lying. It's just they're not fully sure themselves. Given the statement, though, it's not as if they're trying to lie. It's more as if I don't really know.
You
I can-
seem unsure of that.
Yeah. I don't know for sure. I don't know what I am.
I mean, given the circumstances and the telepathic abilities, it would not be uncommon to be a being of mixed race. Not that uncommon. Especially with humans. Like, not to say anything bad about humans, but they generally do procreate with a lot of other races. Quite often. A lot of elves for some reason.
All I know is my mother said I was a child of the storm. That was it.
You see Jean kind of chuckle for some reason. He doesn't say anything, but he thinks something. You can tell.
Does that mean anything to you, Jean?
No, it was just a passing thought.
No, I mean like the storm, and I can't. My eyes kind of crackle with like blue lightning and stuff through them.
Is what Jean says. Like, whatever he was thinking, it stopped.
I realized my mistake.
You have put me into a very difficult position.
I realized that. I shouldn't have pried.
Regardless, there must be consequences for such actions. 5 years. Instead of the normal punishment of death, espionage. At the discretion of Jean, 5 years you are to be warded to me as a retainer.
Thing kind of looks. Are you in like your normal get up? You're not disguised, Denny?
I am wearing the crown.
Well, I mean, other than the crown, I get that. That I'm talking about. Like, is your sword visible?
Standard gear from walking by. Since he doesn't like retainers all the while, he does have 2 knights like outside of the shop. But he does have his like combat ready just in case.
I'm trying real hard to like stay consistent with the character without like bullying.
No. I mean, I fucked up. This is.
I think Hudson means the whole Cartman image.
Yeah.
Oh, respect my authority.
So yes, at the sentencing of me, I order you guilty of espionage for attempting to read the thoughts of the king. Your options are death by strangulation or beheading, or to be warded as my retainer for a period of 5 years, at which time I will reevaluate your position.
What do you mean by reevaluate?
I might let you go. I might have you pay a fine. I might sentence you to hard labor for another 5 years and tell you to be off with it.
$5 years? Kinda just sighs. Much rather have that than death.
Then with Jean and Yuko as the witness, the punishment is to be served.
Alright, well then.
So your name's Yoko.
No,
unless,
it's Kasami.
Yeah, unless she's in her human
Yeah,
form.
I'm still wearing my disguise.
Yeah, so we're in the sky, so Astra would have been smart enough to use.
Okay.
The disguise picture is not up.
I'm
So-
sorry. I just took your tokens out of GM layer.
Yeah, the disguise picture is not up, so I was
Okay.
like, okay. So Kasume.
Okay. I wouldn't have said what I said then. Okay. What now?
I have made a deal with Miss Kasume to help her see some other matters. So we will be attending to those soon. Though I need to make sure that everything here in the city is up to speed before I make my departure.
As you guys are speaking,
So-
John does basically thinking the conversation is less violent. Goes behind the desk. Kasumi, I always forget how it's pronounced. You do see that the weird thing that Jean drew on the floor with the weird chalk. There's like a slash through it with his foot.
So, am I to stay with you at all times?
Like a shadow.
Like a shadow. Can I copy something down in my book? Is that okay?
What do you mean, can you copy something down in your
I
book?
kind of just like rock in my hand the scroll, tap it on my arm.
Of course, by all means.
You can tell that Jean feels even worse now for some reason. Or at least he looks even more downtrodden.
Jean, there's 3 escapees from the prison. Do you know anything about them by chance?
Yes. Well, at least I know of them. Miss Amber, the Ember Flame. Actually, let me look at my notes instead of remembering it at the top of my head. 'Cause that's more helpful to you.
Veil and X.
Yeah, but I need their actual stuff.
Oh, okay.
But thank you. Well, there is Miss Amber, the Red Witch. She herself was imprisoned after it was found that she was the only remaining resident inside a small little hamlet.
I'm aware of their crimes, but is there any chance that they're connected to the circles?
I am honestly not sure. I've never met them myself. I just know that each one has a varying circumstance. Well, for one, the village hamlet that was burnt down was not exactly a very nice one. Your father would often visit it. Former father would often visit it to acquire some certain materials here and there. And generally, we never really hear anything from that village itself. Only until it was burnt down to the ground did we ever hear anything of note. Vale themselves is a privateer, a pirate. Works for coin, money, things of that nature. Works both at the sea and on the land. Has connections with the night owls themselves, so perhaps speaking with them might be useful to discern if they are connected. I don't know who the third one might be. I just know that there was some one that was sent in after the king requested it personally. They might. I'm not honestly sure. I can look into it for you, but I, at this moment, don't have any other information.
No, please keep at your original investigation.
Very well. I will also make some items for Miss Kasumi and Mr. Astor. So in about, it's likely going to take about a week. Please return here for said items.
What is the occasion?
Well, one, coronation obviously will commence once everything's settled down, and two, to keep others from reading minds. I will make one for Mr. Thane as well, but at your own discretion, give it to them or not is entirely up to you. I don't know how you deal with your employees.
Captain Thane's situation is a little awkward, but for now, they will be permitted to behave as they would normally.
Very well
Please,
then.
I hope that they do not give me a reason to go against that.
No. No problem.
And then he does look towards you, Thane. I assume you already have the composite material and the equivalent gold to write down the spell?
Nope.
Okay. You can tell he feels bad. He's not going to give you money or the stuff, but he does feel bad. Like, the first part is like giving you a deal. You talked him into giving you a better deal. Yeah, this guy seems nice enough. Immediately got...
Giving him all my money for the spell.
Yeah, and then he felt bad about that. You accidentally got in trouble with Aster. So he kind of feels bad about that-ish. Only because you didn't know the rules. But then when he went back there and you said, I'm going to copy my spell in my book, he's like, they just said they didn't have any money. So he just feels consciously bad.
How much is that sort of thing?
Depends on the level of spell and the time, but generally I do believe it's 100 gold per spell level, but I could be wrong. I'm not a wizard. It was 100 or 50 gold. I forget. But I'm going to say 150 because Kasami knows more than probably I do.
I will pay all but 5 of my coins that I still have free floating. And as a show of good faith, I will buy Thane's scribing materials.
One persuasion. Because you're undercutting Jean again.
Wait, 100? We said 150, right?
It's 50 gold.
Yeah,
per
but you said
level.
minus 5 coins.
Oh, I have 155.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought that differently.
No, I'm not trying to undercut John.
Okay, it would be the first time.
I did not undercut John. I want to make that very clear.
You did get a great discount. From his employee, no longer employee, because he immediately fired him after the coup.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair to say. He looks towards you, gives Thane the inks and everything else needed and required. Very well then. If you need anything else, let me know after your payday.